issues. The parliament session is going to start on the 17th. We will be raising high prices. We will be raising the issue of inflation in parliament. We will ask for an entire debate on this. We want the government to produce a white paper on high prices, and those demands will continue to be. We have fought at petrol pumps. We have protested all across the country. We do hope that the media will show the plight of the people, because you belong to the section. You are the fourth pillar of democracy. And the price rise under which India is reeling today is unprecedented. Prices hurt the common man, but they hurt the common man even more when the GDP growth is low, when wages have been cut, when jobs have been lost, when businesses have been shut. I only want to end by saying that one line. If you remember, there was a Peoply Live movie, and at least when we were in power, the BJP could keep playing that song. It says, महंगाई डायन खाए जाते हैं. महंगाई अभी भी खा रही है, अभी भी वो डायन से, लेकिन इनके लिए डार्लिंग बन गई है. महंगाई अब डायन बिल्कुल नहीं है बीजेपी के लिए. भाजपा के लोगों को, प्रधानमंत्री महोदय को लगता है कि वो प्रधानमंत्री आवास में बैठकर करोड़ों रुपए अपने ऊपर खर्चा करते हैं. 8,000 करोड़ का हवाई जहाज खरीदते हैं, 20,000 करोड़ रुपए का सेंट्रल विस्ता बनाते हैं. शायद उनको लोगों की गरीबी, उनका दिक्कत, उनकी मजबूरी नहीं दिख रही है. लेकिन अगर वो अपने राज सिंहासन छोड़ के बाहर निकलेंगे, he will see people are very worried, people are really reeling under the burden of high prices, and they need some respite. I'll take questions first on suo moto, please. I will first take questions on this. If there are any questions on inflation, then I'll come to population control.
But you said you will take up this issue in the parliament. Your people are not paid. What type of agitation will be in the parliament?
Sorry, sir?
What type of agitation it will be? Your anger?
No, I think more than anger, the plight of the people is unmissable. I think one needs to pay attention to how worried and how miserable the lives of people have been. So I don't think anger is the right word. As far as parliament is concerned, we will take it up in parliament before the government. We will demand an entire discussion, and we hope that the government will produce a white paper on the economy, including inflation.
So you will stall the proceedings?
Sir, I said we will demand a discussion on this. I never said we will stall proceedings. I think there are ways to bring the government to agree to things. I think the elected government of the day should be conscious of what the people are going through, and only then those matters can be taken up in parliament. Disruption, according to the late Shri Arun Jaitley ji, is a method in a democracy to attract attention. That's not what we want to do, but if the government chooses to be mute and deaf to the plight of the people, we will leave no stone unturned to raise this issue in parliament. Any other question on this? Your question on population. There is a lot that is being written and said about population. I think the lot that has not been written also needs to be pointed out. India's total fertility rate, which is number of children being produced by a couple, has consistently gone down. It used to be 5.6 in the 1950s, so a woman was producing almost 5.6 children. It has considerably gone down across states, and it's actually down to 2.1. So a couple on an average is producing 2.1 children, which is almost the same as replacement level. Now what is replacement level? If two people die in one generation, there are 2.1 to replace them. So in an ideal situation, the number of people dying should be replaced by the number of people coming in, and then that finds a balance. In our country, there are some states where the total fertility rate is as low as 1, and there are innumerable states. There are some where it is up, but not astronomically up. Even for Bihar, it is just 3. In Uttar Pradesh, it is 2.7. This is a ploy to once again divide the people. This is the ploy to once again distract from major issues. What are the major issues of the day? The major issues of the day are price rise. The major issues of the day are joblessness. The major issues of the day are high poverty. The major issues of the day are 23 crore people slipping below the poverty line. Instead of addressing those issues, it is your duty to create jobs. It is your duty to ensure people are prosperous. It is your duty to ensure that people don't slip below the poverty line. It is your duty to ensure that every Indian is well provided for, does not go to bed hungry. Instead of doing that, you want to bring up another issue to distract. And that is the only ploy. The reality is that in 80 years, India's population will be down to 100 crores. From the 140 crores we are today. By 2100, we will be down to 100 crores, naturally. So our population will rise for 10, 12 years and then we will go down. I want to say our population was our dividend. It was our biggest bet. Why do you think these multinationals, why do you think these big companies came to India to invest? Because we gave them the market that they wanted. Our population was our biggest dividend, which is what it was called, the demographic dividend. Because of the mismanagement of the economy, mismanagement of the policies, because of the divisive nature of this government, they are turning the demographic dividend into demographic disaster. Instead of creating jobs for the world's youngest nation, you are actually telling people that don't do jobs, instead stop producing children. Our population will go down on its own 200 crores. 40, 45 crore people will be wiped out. Because our total fertility rate is going down, because people are producing less. Also, scientific data tells you, if people are more educated and if there is less poverty, the population gets under control. Most educated couples have lesser children. This is scientific data. Educate people, make them less poor, create more jobs. And a lot of people ask this question, why do people have so many children? Because you have no social security, you have no job, you feel, if I have 6 children, at least one will take care of me. But when we are educated and when you have a job, you believe I have to provide for these children, they should become respectable adults, they should find jobs, they should be respectable in the society, you will produce lesser children. This scientific data across the world has proven this. Instead of doing that, this is just a diversionary tactic, and I will mince no words in saying this is not just diversionary, this is also divisive, because it's trying to attack, it's trying to pinpoint on a certain community. The reality is that children being produced in either of the two communities are being done in the same ratio. Again, data that's produced by the government of India has proven this. This is not data that's coming from me. Sure.
You are raising your voice against price hike.
Jay.
It's okay. Then what is your next step?
I think it is important that comrades like you and the media starts talking about high prices. I come from media. Till about 3 years back, I was a television editor and anchor. I have done innumerable shows on price rise. How many shows? And I now go regularly on TV debates every evening. I read at least 6 newspapers a day. I don't see price rise being an issue. And I'm not blaming you. All I'm saying is, it is a very big issue. You will have to be the voice of the people. You will have to champion it. You will have to start showing what the opposition is doing. We have done protests across petrol pumps. I will just share a small, this is the Karnataka Congress, Mahila Congress, I think. They have put out this in public places. This gives you a comparison of prices during our regime and this regime. I mean, this is the word, this is the voice of the people. You will have to start carrying it to the people. I don't think that is being done enough. This government, when you ask them on onion prices, the finance minister turns and says, मैं लहसुन प्याज नहीं खाती हूँ. तो बाकी लोग तो खाते हैं इस देश में. You ask them on petrol, they said Uber से चलिए. You ask them on jobs, they said पकौड़े तलिए. I think the government of the day needs to be accountable. I said we are trying to spread the word and we need help of people like you. We need the media to be more vigilant. And I must compliment, people on the ground are far more vigilant than people who decide the policies sitting in studios. So I think the media needs to be more vigilant. You need to hold the government of the day accountable, because prices can be brought down. It is not as if crude is at 150. Why are we paying 109 for our petrol? And like we said, we will raise it in parliament. We will continue to hit the street with it. I just hope that you will show us a lot more than you are right now. I think somebody here had a question. Sure.
कि अभी मोदी सरकार है ना, जो महंगाई बढ़ा के जो दाल, चीनी, पेट्रोल, डीजल, सरसों का तेल, बोले सब चीज बढ़ा के ऐसा है ना, फैमिली में 2 बच्चे ही करना, तीसरा बच्चा करे तो गवर्नमेंट का काम नहीं करके ऑर्डर करके है ना, इसके बारे में आप क्या बोलते हैं?
नहीं, अभी मोदी सरकार की ओर से ऑर्डर नहीं आया, तो पहले तो मैं वो क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूँगी। और मैंने इस बात का जवाब दिया है कि साइंटिफिक डेटा प्रूव करता है कि हमारी पॉपुलेशन ऑलरेडी 10-12 साल बढ़ेगी और उसके बाद वो ऑलरेडी 40-45 करोड़ लोग खत्म हो जाएंगे। उसमें से 2100 तक हमारी पॉपुलेशन 100 करोड़ हो जाएगी। टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट और रिप्लेसमेंट लेवल, कितने लोग एक जनरेशन से मृत्यु हो रही है और कितने नए जन्म हो रहा है, वो एक बराबर होता जा रहा है। टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट सिर्फ 2.1 है। हिंदुस्तान की बहुत सारे शहर, बहुत सारे प्रांत ऐसे हैं, बहुत सारे स्टेट्स ऐसे हैं जहाँ पर वो लेवल 1 से भी नीचे चला गया है। सिक्किम वगैरह में 1 है लेवल, तो हर परिवार एक बच्चा पैदा कर रहा है। तो ये सिर्फ डाइवर्जनरी टैक्टिक है। आप अगर साइंटिफिक डेटा देखिए, जहाँ पर गरीबी कम होगी, जहाँ पर शिक्षा ज़्यादा होगी, वहाँ बच्चे कम अपने आप प्रोड्यूस होंगे। आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि आप नौकरियाँ बनाइए, आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है आप गरीबी कम करिए। उसको कम करने के बजाय आप सिर्फ मुद्दा भटकाने के लिए फिर से ये बातें कर रहे हैं। इस बात का कोई भी ना सच से ताल्लुक है और ना गवर्नेंस से ताल्लुक है। डन?
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you very much. That's okay. We've done this now.